Ladies and gentlemen, like you've been tapped into Bacon Network, we got a special guest on today, Cavante James, you know what I'm saying? K Dot, you know what I'm saying? One of the best young boxers, I'm saying, went, I think, 11 or 12 straight, you know what I'm saying? Fighting, you know what I'm saying, for opportunity to go fight for the gold in California in 2027, 2028. So, man, we're going to bring him on. As you see at the bottom, we got a special link for him for the athlete of the year for SI. This is our second guest. So show love, you know what I'm saying? Spam that link for the young man to get into where he needs to be. But with that being said, we're going to bring the young man on, Kevin Cavante K. James.
Yes, sir.
Champ. So for sure, how you doing today, champ?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed.
Absolutely, man. I could tell, like we spoke off camera, I could tell you in the gym, man. So, and you got a crazy schedule, so you in summer school, not summer school. Well, are you taking summer classes right now?
No, sir.
All right, so like I said, you get up during your regularly schedule during the school. You up at 8, and you know what I'm saying, you do school, virtual school, then you go train with one of the best trainers in the nation, Mustafa's Boxing. So just add on to that and just let the people know what you're about, brother.
Nothing really special. Just a regular 17-year-old just trying to make it big. Been boxing for 12 years. I'm a 9-time national champion, 1-time international champion. I've been all over America. Hopefully soon getting out of the country to go get some more experience out of the country. But I mean, I'm just a regular kid just trying to make it out.
Fall international, you know what I'm saying? 8-time, I think it's an 8-time champion, but he's a regular kid for sure. But you know what I'm saying? What made you want to get into boxing? But it's no joke, you know what I'm saying? They always say boxing, you can't play boxing, so why did you want to get into that?
Honestly, it just seemed interesting. So my sister, she was watching Rocky. I walked in and I asked her what she was watching, and she was like, Rocky. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. So I was like, can I just watch it with you? Because it looked interesting. And my dad was at work at the time. So he comes home and I tell him, oh, I watched Rocky. And he was like, oh, which one did you watch? Me at the time, I was probably, 4 years old? He was like 2.5. 2.5. He says 2.5. I didn't even know it was that that young. But I was like, I watched Rocky. He asked which one it was, and then I was like, I don't know. I didn't know there was multiple. All I knew is at the time I was a wrestling fan, so I was like, oh, it had Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Yeah. It had Hulk Hogan and some crazy black dude with some crazy hair. He was like, oh, you watched 3, and then so he's like, you got to watch 4. He showed me 4, and I just fell in love with it. The rest is history, honestly. After that, well, really, after Floyd Mayweather fought Robert Guerrero, that's when I was like, I want to box. And it just so happened like that my dad's best friend, he was a boxing coach. So it just, I don't know, man. It's God gifted.
Nah, he's definitely guiding you, brother. So when you first got into it, like, what was the first step? I'm sure did Pops may have took you to the first trainer, or did he make you run first? Did he like drill you? Like, I gotta make sure you want to do this, you know what I'm saying, before I just submerge him into the sport?
I mean, honestly, it started when my dad took me to the gym for the first time. But if you really want to be technical, my first training was Rocky 4 when he went to Russia to fight Ivan Drago. I reenacted the whole training scene from start to beginning, and I go back and rewind it. So technically, it's my dad taking me to the gym, but I would say it was Rocky.
Nah, for sure. He was doing sit-ups.
I was doing everything.
So like when you went to when you counted your first spar, you know what I'm saying, were you nervous? You know what I'm saying, were you like, nah, I've been doing sit-ups since the age of 2. I'm ready.
No, my first sparring, it was nerve-wracking, very nerve-wracking. I cried in my first sparring. Like, I didn't like it at all.
Let him piece you up, bro. It's all right.
Yeah. It was, yeah. It wasn't a good experience. I don't know why I still kept doing it, but I'm here.
For sure. So like started early, you know what I'm saying, went to the gym. So this, for the people out there who don't know what it really takes to be a boxer, just kind of walk them through a regular day for you.
Like throughout my whole day, or just for boxing wise?
Just for boxing, I like the
Just
condition.
boxing wise.
Mhm.
Depends on the day. Monday normally, or Monday is boxing, so um, get to the gym, do my stretches, my warm ups. Minimum rounds jump rope are 6, so I jump rope 6 rounds, and my dad has me do a drill. So each minute, 3 minutes. So for the first minute, you start off slow jumps. Then second minute, you pick it up, and then the third minute, you go full out fast as you can, as much as you can go. We do that for 6 rounds. Shadow box, minimum 12 rounds. And then from there, it's just whatever Coach Mustafa has. Maybe it's drills, from punching drills to defensive drills. And then we're on the bag. We don't do mitts, but we do noodles. So
Mm.
it'll be noodles. And then after that, it's um, probably, I'll say abs. But then, like on a Tuesday, it'll be that strength and conditioning. So we might do sprints or we might do a long distance run. So we'll incorporate that on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes, unless we're sparring.
Okay, I was waiting on the running. You know what I'm saying? You talked about long distance. Like, what's the furthest you've ran on like just one encounter?
Like 6.5, 7 miles.
6.5, 7 miles.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's solid. That's solid. Then you talked about the noodles. Oh, actually, before we get to the noodles, you talked about shadow boxing. You know what I'm saying? This why is it so important? You know what I'm saying, to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Punching in the mirror. You know, most people would think, I need to be hitting somebody, learn how to dodge punches. But why is shadow boxing so significant?
It's significant because when coach gives you something to do, for instance, like your jab, yes, you want to have somebody in front of you to be able to hit your target and know what you're hitting. But I mean, if you're shadow boxing and you're going through the jab for like an hour to 2 hours, I mean, you're perfecting it just there, learning how to throw it differently. It doesn't necessarily have to hit anybody, but I mean, it's just the repetition, just building it into your muscle memory.
All right. And I want to dive into, a little more about you, right? You know what I'm saying? The first time I came, the only time I came and saw you in the gym, I'm saying, you you were like hands on, I'm saying? Even though you were training, you were hands on with like the younger kids, and then like, I'm saying, it's kind of like coaching them, I'm saying? So what's so important to you to give back to, I'm saying, kids that are in the gym with you? Why is it a family environment in the gym?
I think it's important because there's so many kids that look up to people, and I know a lot of kids that look up to me. And if I'm just in the gym and I'm doing my business, and then I'm like, oh, just brush off, then it's like it makes them feel some type of way, like, oh, I don't really like this dude, like he doesn't talk to me. So I really think building a bond with the kids that want to be like you, or that want to in the same sport as you, and giving them the game is important, because I mean, it's like you got Floyd Mayweather being the teacher to Gervonta Davis, having him under his wing, teaching him. I think it's very important, because not everybody gets that big mentor that knows a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna say I know everything, but that knows pretty much the basics to teach you. I mean, I think it's very important to build that brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever, that familyhood in general. Just I think it's very important.
So what's the most important thing you learned about boxing since you started?
It's a very mental game. If you don't have the discipline, and you don't put the work in, it's definitely gonna come back and bite you. Um, you can't half but anything. Like, you can't skip nothing, because it'll definitely show in the ring. Definitely.
Nah, definitely. So let's talk about your diet, brother. You know what I'm saying? How clean or regular do you eat?
uh, be honest with you, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't eat that clean. Listen, but when I'm in camp, then that's when it starts getting more clean. I start, cutting down how much I eat, what I eat. It's a lot of more protein, taking protein shakes here and there. But I mean, for the most part, when I'm not in camp, I eat whatever I want. Ice cream, everything.
So,
Yeah.
what's your favorite food then, brother?
Oh, they ask me this all the time, and I probably had to go wings. I like wings.
Wing. Okay, is it lemon pepper and
Lemon pepper wings.
wet or
And
dry?
then you get I go wet. And then I do half lemon pepper, half honey hot with lemon pepper sprinkles.
You said half honey, lemon pepper, half hot with lemon pepper. That's I'm gonna have to try that one, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I like to do I'm a little creative, maybe not, maybe basic. I like to do the teriyaki with the lemon pepper sprinkle. Some people kind of mess it up, you know what I mean? It's got to be the right,
Yeah, it's got to be right. Yeah. And
but
you go all teriyaki, or do you
yeah,
split it up?
it depends on the mood. It depends on the wing spot. You know what I mean? If I'm going to Wingstop, I'm probably gonna split it up. I might do half wing lemon teriyaki with lemon pepper sprinkles. I might do the other half just straight teriyaki. But if I go like what's that wing spot? Hungry AF. Then I might just do all teriyaki lemon pepper. You know what I mean? I go to a real thorough spot. I get a little exotic.
Yeah, yeah, for you.
But do you fast at all? You know what I'm saying? Or
No, I don't fast at all.
Okay, I
Everything
had
is
that.
just strictly eating.
For sure. And so let's talk about pops. You know what I'm saying? Just what has it meant to your process, you know what I mean, along the way?
Pops or me?
Mm-hmm.
Me or Pops?
What has he meant to you?
What has he meant to me? He's meant a lot, honestly. We've been through ups and downs, arguments after arguments. Me telling him you don't know what you're talking about, to him telling me, yes, I know what I'm talking about. I mean, he's meant a lot. Just pushing me. I mean, honestly, I don't know where I would be without him. Honestly, like he's like he set the platform down for me, and I'm just all I got to do is just execute and just walk the path, man. Honestly, he's meant the world to me.
Absolutely, man. Definitely keep pops close, man. You know what he's talking about, brother. Since we got both y'all here, Pop, feel free to chime in. Like, who was most responsible for cultivating, your style, brother? You know what I'm saying? You got a unique style, and explain to him what it is.
You wanna chime in on kind of the mix of why we're with Mustafa and my style, kind of?
I guess to say cultivating his style would have first had to start with my best friend back in Texas, who started training him. He really wanted to make him a slick boxer. And then, after us moving out here, trying to grow for his career and everything, and linking up with Coach Mustafa, Coach Mustafa gives you that foundation of basics, fundamentals, and just trying to, I guess, bring it all together, what he already had. It was one key thing that he said when he met Cavante and actually started working with him, maybe 3-4 months in, say 3 to 6 months in. He came to me and said, "Hey, Pops, man, the kid's got it. He has a great foundation. So I just want to keep his style and what he's doing and just add to it, just to make him a well-rounded boxer." I look at him as a slick boxer / counterpuncher. He can stand there, and one thing we always tell him is trust your feet, trust your defense. And he can stand right there, not move, and you can throw as many punches as you might. Say if you throw 10, you might get 2 or 3 in, so he's real slick. He's real defensive. He's just, to me, he's a pure boxer / counterpuncher.
So like you just said, Pops, guys throw 10 punches, don't connect to about 20%. Do you ever, from the corner, do you ever you ever tense up when the blows is flowing?
Yeah, most definitely. Sometimes as a boxer and him being the one in the ring that's fighting, he's got to make the calls himself sometimes. You know what I mean? And there's times where we'll tell him, "Hey, we ain't gonna tell you nothing. You got to go in here and figure it out." You know what I mean? He has the IQ. He knows what he's doing in there, and sometimes he he'll sway from it. You know what I mean? And he doesn't trust his defense sometimes, and we just tell him, man, get back to the basics. Remember the basics. When nothing else seems like it's going to go right for you, just resort back to the basics, resort back to what you know. And when he does that, I mean, it just falls right back into place. He starts clicking and he understands. And I'm like, we shouldn't have to tell you, man. All you got to do is go back to the basics. Trust your IQ and your defense, what and when he does that, man, he looks amazing in the ring. You know what I mean? He looks like a young Floyd mixed in with some Muhammad Ali, however you want to put it. Like, he's got the foundation of it all. You know what I mean? With Mustafa liking a lot of old school boxing, you know what I mean? He's adding some of that Larry Holmes sprinkle on him, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So he really has the potential, if he just continues to stay locked in, stay dedicated, stay focused, to be one of the next great up and coming fighters. You know what I mean? He could be your next Floyd Mayweather, Shakur Stevenson, whatever you want to label him. He really has that potential, as long as he just believes in himself and he continues to stay focused.
Absolutely. I think you got some special powers, but I may have asked you this previously, but you're on the live, so I gotta ask you now. Usually when you got a young man that's coming up, hey, pops, I wanna shoot basketball, I wanna play football, play baseball. When he came to you, like you said, after watching that Rocky movie, just what went through your head, that your son wanted to be a boxer?
So growing up, I've always been a boxing fan. My dad watched boxing. So most of the time, that was the Tyson era and all that. He would always get the pay-per-view. So I always grew up boxing. In the neighborhood I grew up in too, in our community, we had a rec center. And I was about probably like 6, 7 years old. I always wanted to box because we had one in the gym, but I never got to. I ran with my older cousins. They were way older than me. They were like teenagers, and I'm running around like 6 and 7. So they would never take me. So it was just something that I've always liked. So I grew up a boxing fan. Then married my wife. Her dad's a big boxing fan as well. So that's why I always say, I guess it must have been God sent and given for him to do it. My mom's brother was a boxer in the amateurs growing up, and then he went into the military. So when he came to me after us sitting down watching the Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero fight, and he says, "Dad, I want to box." I looked at him, I said, "You want to what?" He said, "I want to box." And as my kids have been growing up, I've always taught them, if you want to do something in life, give it a try, as long as it's not illegal or going to get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Never shy away from your dreams. So I told him, well, if that's what you want to do, we'll give it a shot. Like Cavante said, my best friend growing up was actually a boxing coach. That was his 9 to 5, what he did. So this was a Saturday when Floyd fought Robert Guerrero. That Monday, he was going to turn 5. So I called him up. I said, "Hey, Wes, Cavante says he wants to box, man. Do you want to train him?" And he was like, "Well, yeah. When do you want to start?" I said, "Well, he turns 5 on Monday. That'll be one of his presents. We'll be at the gym Monday." So he says, "Okay." So, we get to the gym and he's like, "Man, you really think he wants to do it?" I said, "Man, I'm going to let him try it. We'll see how long it goes." I thought it would just be something after a couple weeks, a month or so. He's like, "Nah, I don't want to do this no more," because a lot of people don't know when you box, you can't actually compete until you're 8 years old. So at 5, he trained for 3 years straight, not fighting. The first probably like year and a half, he had no sparring, none. He didn't spar until he was like 7, almost 8, getting closer. Then that's when he started sparring. So he did this for almost 3 years with no actual physical contact, just constantly training. So I supported him, and I told my friend too, "Hey man, I don't know how long it's gonna last. We'll be here as long as he wants to." It was crazy, man. The first day in the gym, he sat there, he was my Coach West took his time with him. He would train him for about 5-10 minutes, then tell him, "Hey, run around, go do what you want to do." And then he'd go and let him do what he wanted. So he'd be over there hitting the bag. He said, okay, come on, come back. We're going to train a little more. So he'd do like 5-10 minutes. And Wes is a talker, man. So like if you walk up to him, you're in the gym, you walk up to him, he would always talk to people. And it was so crazy. This was the first time I was like, this kid must like this, because some client walked up to him in the gym, and it was a lady. She was talking to him about training or whatever. And Cavante stood right there. And Wes talked to this lady for about 10 minutes. And then he just happened to turn around, and Cavante was just still standing right there, just waiting. And he was like, oh, buddy, I'm so sorry. Like, we're training. He goes, I'm almost done talking to her. Go ahead and run around a little more, hit the bag. And then he's like, okay. And he stood right there, and he just started hitting the bag that was right next to him and the lady that were talking. So then after he was done, he was like, okay, let's go back. We'll train a little more. So he trained. And that's when I seen in him, like, man, this kid must really like this. And he even said, man, your son stood there. Like, he didn't go run around. Most kids would have ran around like, oh, I got a chance to be free. He said, no, he stood there. And he said that right there told him that he would be a world champion one day.
Wow. And
he told me, he said, man, he's going to be a world champion one day. And I said, oh, okay. Went home. I told my wife, I said, man, this is what he said. I said, he telling me that because he's my best friend, man. Man, as he stayed committed to it and he grew in the sport, I tell him every day, man, he's going to be a world champion. We got goals, we got dreams. As long as he stays focused and dedicated, it's all obtainable, man. All obtainable with him.
You thought he was trying to keep you on a retainer, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta keep him in the build. I gotta tell him something.
You're right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you're my best friend. You're just saying that because we boys, you know what I'm saying? But no, as he started training more and me just sitting back, I would just sit there. I would watch the whole training session, just sit there, and I wouldn't say nothing. I would sit away from him so he wouldn't be like, hey, dad. No, I'd sit back in the cut and just watch him. And as he grew, man, I was like, yeah, this kid, this must be something he really wants to do, because to be at 5 years old and having an attention span like he did is not realistic for a kid that age. We've seen it growing up. The whole time he was growing up, ladies would come in with their sons and they're training or whatever. And one little kid had told his mom, hey, mom, can I play with him? She says, oh, I don't think he plays. I've never seen that kid play when I'm in the gym. So then she came up to me one day and was like, hey, my son wants to know, like, can he play with your son? I said, yeah, sure. I said, if you're here after he's done practicing, he's more than willing to run around and be a kid and play. But when we're in here, when he's training, he's locked in. He knows what he's here for. Sure enough, she's like, okay. I said, I mean, I'm not going to make you stay long if you're not going to be here long. She's like, no, he really wants to play with your son. And she stayed late and they ran around and they became friends, you know what I mean? And then her son wanted to start training. So he started training with him for a while, and that's pretty much his story, man. It's been a ride. It's been a journey, and he's definitely got if he follows his dream, become a world champion, he's got a Rocky story in his own, like, definitely.
Well, so what do you mean by that?
Just the path that for a 2-year-old, like he said, for a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old to be like watching Rocky. And like he says, a lot of people don't understand when he saw Rocky 4, he watched the whole movie from beginning to end. But once it hit that scene in Russia when he was ready to start training, for me to see a kid watch the training scene, and then after the scene ends and he's reenacting everything Rocky's doing, for him to rewind it right back to the beginning of that training scene and do it over and over and over for like 5, 6, 7 times a day, he's doing this. And I'm like, and at this point, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, man, it's just a great movie. You know what I mean? And then a couple years later, he's watching a fight with us, see Floyd Mayweather, and he turns and says he wants to do it. And for him just to be committed at this time, and he's still doing it at this age and doing it at a very high level, he's definitely got a story. And to me, I love it because it's not your regular boxing story where it's like, oh, I came from poverty,
Right.
you know, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, I had to fight. Or he was a kid that was getting in trouble in school, like a lot of the fighters today. Oh, all I used to do was fight in school. No, he's never been through that. You know what I mean? He's been giving him a lifestyle from me and my wife to where he didn't have to worry about the stuff we worried about growing up. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be a story, man. I really believe it's going to be a story for him.
I agree as well. And I got to ask you this as well, Pops. You know, I came and saw Cavante, you know, like you said, real focused, real locked in, and to be a fighter takes a lot of discipline. So usually it kind of it goes up a couple notches once they kind of get fully submerged in. Have you noticed that about Cavante, or is it kind of just, you know what I'm saying, being consistent the whole way through the whole ride?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely elevated. You know, he's constantly. That's one thing that I can say about him is he doesn't want to stay stagnant. He's always trying to learn. He's always trying to get better. You know, and I've always told him, and I think maybe it's something that I've said to him growing up, because there's been times, you know, as a kid, you're like, man, this is all I do. This is my life. And there's been times where he's like, Dad, I don't want to go to the gym today. Like, can I just hang? Yeah, you sure can. You can be a kid. But I'm going to tell you one thing. And he's like, what's that? You don't go to the gym today. Know that your opponent's going to be in the gym training. He'll be like, you know what, Dad? Let's go. You know, let's go. And that's all I've ever told him. Anytime he doesn't want to, I let him know. You can definitely stay home today, but I'm going to let you know while you sitting at home, your opponent will be in the gym training. But I have no problem with you taking a day off and being a kid. You know what I mean? But just know that one day you got to go harder the next day. A lot of the times he just says, you know what, Dad, let me deal with it. Let me go in the gym, get it over with. I come home and I can be a kid. You know what I mean? Just like now he's going to be, it's his senior year. And I'm telling him, man, it's the last year. Like, I understand you're boxing, but have fun, man. Like, it's your senior year, man. Yeah. Make sure that you're having fun. You know what I mean? Because after this is after you graduate, this is where it all starts right now. This is where we really, really lock in. And, you know, we're looking to get those management deals, those promotion deals, the sponsorships, all that stuff. And we're really committed and locking in for 2028 Olympics. You know what I mean? So this is where it really, really gets fun, is really going to get harder, you know? Yeah. And when they say boxing is a lonely sport, he's going to get to know once he graduates how lonely the sport is, you know?
Yeah. So to piggyback off that for you, Cavante, just how do you balance it all, man? You know what I'm saying? You know that this is your last year, really kind of not really being a kid, but, you know, you're ready to be submerged fully into what your dream is, what your passion is.
It's for the longest time I've had, I wouldn't say trouble, you know, trying to balance school and boxing, because I mean, most of the time it's with when I was public school, it was school and then right after practice. And then once I get home from practice, it's homework, and then from there I'm good. But since I've been in Georgia, I went to public for about a semester, and then everything else has been homeschooled. But it's been, with homeschool, it's been like smooth to transfer everything to. I mean, I can get my work done on my own timing. I can still get time to go to the gym. I can honestly do 2-a-days now in the gym. So, I mean, it's not really hard to balance it out. It's been pretty easily, or easy, shockingly. But I mean, I think for the most part, it's just knowing that I have this task for school and this task for boxing. And I know that if I don't get this task done for school, then it's no boxing, because at the end of the day, like my dad always tells me, man, it's books before hooks.
I like that. Would you recommend, or do you think it's more beneficial to do online versus doing it in person in public school or private?
For a boxer, if you're really trying to take it serious, I would definitely recommend it, because I mean, like I said, you get to do 2-a-days, which I mean, most people don't like doing 2-a-days, but I think, I mean, it's what comes with the sport. So I would definitely recommend it, especially like getting your work done on your own time. A lot of people, or I don't know, most people, but some people, you know, they can't they can't really or not really can't, they just don't really like being in public school and the teacher telling them when to do their assignments, when to turn it in. So I think that also plays a role in too. Like if you don't like that, then I think a homeschool is definitely probably good for you.
You talked about 2 days. You talked about it being tough. Just summarize, like, what's that place you got to go to mentally, you know what I'm saying, when it gets tough or when it's in that last round? Like, what place do you go to?
You got to go to like, I don't even know how to describe it. You got to go to like the mud, but not the mud. Like it's more than just the mud. Like you got to really, really like get there mentally and dig deep and just, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain it. Like I think it's different for every sport, you know. So like with football, that's a different, you know, lock in mentally. Basketball, a different lock in. But boxing, when you know it's you yourself and I and someone else across the ring and nobody's there to save you, man, it's like it's tough. It's very tough.
Nah, that's facts. It's the most loneliest place where you got like probably, you know what I'm saying, 50 to 100 people around you screaming your name or booing, whatever the case may be. But I gotta ask you this, brother, and it's not to throw you off the pit, but I gotta ask you, brother. I'm sorry, are you ready? Are you ready for what I'm saying what's about to come your way, brother? I know you are, but I gotta ask.
Yeah, of course I'm ready. But as of Instagram DMs, I don't know if I'm ready for more of those. But definitely ready to get to that point in life where I have thousands of people screaming, cheering me on or booing me, hate me or love me. I don't care. I still show out.
Who do you like? Who do you watch for motivation and music, audiobooks, podcasts, fighters? Who do you like look to?
Motivation, a lot of David Goggins.
Okay.
Lots of videos. Music wise, this might sound shocking, but for music, I don't really listen to a lot of rap. So like, I mean, if I listen to rap, it'll be like older rap. But like honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but I low key listen to Adele to lock in. I listen to Adele, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, audiobooks, I don't really listen to really any audiobooks. If anything, it's an actual physical book. But yeah, David Goggins, Adele, Whitney Houston, those get me locked in.
So you a calm before the storm type of guy. I respect it.
Yeah, real calm, real calm.
For sure. Now, what type of boxers are you? Do you watch Shakur Stevenson, Floyd, maybe a little Canelo? Who do you watch a lot?
Favorite fighter, Terrence Crawford. I watch him a lot. I definitely watch Shakur. I watch Tank, even though, you know, he got that one punch knockout and I don't got that quite yet, but I still watch him. Old fighters, I watch Pernell Whitaker, Mark Too Short Johnson, Buddy McGirt. There's so much. I watch so much film.
Any Marvin Hagler?
Yes, definitely Marvin Hagler. And Tommy Hearns too. Tommy Hearns.
Okay. What's your last couple questions, but I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. Favorite if in your style, like what's something that you wouldn't change about your style? Footwork, the jab, cross, hook, what is it for you?
My footwork. I think I got pretty good footwork. I love to move around, let to do some hezzies here and there, if that's what you want to call it in the ring. Okay. Hezzies, yeah.
All right, let's get to some fun stuff, man. I'll let you go. Let's see. You don't listen to any rap music, but if you weren't doing boxing, what sport would you play?
I think about this almost every month. There's a debate. If I wasn't doing boxing, what would I be doing? I tried basketball. I loved basketball. I played football when I was like 4 years old, and then I just stopped playing. So I think probably football, because I didn't give it a chance now, you know.
And favorite, you said your favorite food was wings. So what's the favorite food mom cooks? Like, what's a dish that you can't live without from her?
Oh my. My mom's wings. My mom makes good homemade wings. Let's see what else. Oh, honestly, all of it.
Okay.
When I make it
He's a big back.
when I make it
I need to
when I
find.
make it big, I'm hiring my mom as my chef. So
There it is. We're gonna keep it in the family. I like that.
yeah.
Big bags for life. What's a hidden talent of yours, man?
Hidden talent? Oh my goodness. I don't think I have any hidden talents. What do you think is my hidden talent?
I know he's singing in the shower.
Sleeping.
I can
He's
play
a
the
snorer?
keyboard a little bit, like the piano. I can play the piano a little bit,
Okay.
and then I can play the trumpet too.
All around artist. So you on the keys and you on the horn.
Yeah,
Ladies,
I think
man.
those are probably hidden talents.
All right, for sure.
I don't even know if those are talents.
He could cut some pretty good grass. No,
Oh, yeah.
I can cut
Great
grass too.
mode.
If y'all need me to cut your grass, I'll cut your grass. I can cut some grass, that's for sure.
$50 a yard.
You said what?
I said $50 a yard, like to cut a lawn.
Yeah, $50 a yard. Yeah.
We ain't cheap. Everything high low. Last thing, but I'm trying to think of a movie to try to go up against Rocky. But all right, so I'll do this instead. Classic question, man. Boxing or MMA?
Boxing.
Why?
I don't even have a why. It's just, like, what do I prefer or what's better?
What's better? Let's do that.
Oh, I mean, they're both combat sports. So, I mean, I don't know. I just like boxing more. I think boxing's better. But in my personal opinion, like if I had to choose, like, of course, of my why, I'll choose boxing because I'm not getting hit with no flying knee or no kick. I'm plain and simple. I'm not getting kicked in the head. I don't want to have to go through that.
Nah, I understand that, but then, like whenever Masvidal not that Ben Askren with that flying knee, I was like, yes, that's tough. That's tough, brother.
Yeah.
He really never recovered from that. But last two things, man, I just need you to, you know what I'm saying, to from the heart, brother. So let any young man know or any parent that's watching this or will watch this, why is it okay for boxing? And then after that, just, you know what I'm saying, tell them why they should vote for you to be athlete of the year, my friend.
Let's see. Why is boxing good? Because when you say boxing and you look at it, it's like violence. No parent wants that. My mom doesn't even like. Well, she's learned to like it now, but before she didn't really like me getting hit. She didn't like seeing me get hit. But I think if you want your son or daughter to not necessarily grow, because I mean they can grow in anything they do, but to learn discipline and how to mature. Honestly, I think boxing helps people mature a lot. It shows you the ups and downs. Honestly, I don't I don't really know. Like it's very hands-on kind of. Boxing requires a lot. It's a lot of people go to the gym just in general to hit a bag when they are going through stuff, when they got stuff to get off their mind. So it helps with emotions a lot of the time too. But I think just for your kid to do something different and you want to see your kid, honestly, I don't know, because not everybody succeeds in this boxing because it's so hard. But I mean, I could just go on, man. It's like
case studies. There are less CTE in boxing than it is in football.
That's big. This is why I used to use let your son and daughter box to play football right there. Keep that right there, Pops. We appreciate you.
We'll leave it at that. And then y'all should vote for Youth Athlete of the Year because I'm a hardworking, God-fearing young man.
Yeah, I shouldn't be laughing, but
I train my butt off. Be honest with you, grown men can't even keep up with how I train. I train so hard, like I put blood, sweat, and tears in it for real. And I'm just hungry. I think that's why you should vote for me. I'm a good kid inside the ring and outside the ring. Once you get to know me, I'm a pretty happy guy, pretty funny guy. A lot of people tell me I'm funny. A lot of my friends tell me I'm funny, but I mean, I just think I'm a not to brag, but I'm a great guy. I'm a great guy. Let's
I
see
see.
you. What do you think? Why do you think they should vote your son for athlete of the year?
I'm putting him on the spot.
I would say because, um, like he said, he's very hardworking, committed, and dedicated to the sport. He's a very, very well mannered kid. We raised him with the yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. He's got that family structure, and he just, you know, seeing the stuff that he gets in his DM. Dad, look, somebody text this to me in my DM. He's a great mentor. He's really a great mentor to other kids. You know what I mean? And just to see the way that he responds to some of them, like one time he showed me some guy, I think was from like Australia or something. Hey man, can you send me a workout and tell me what you do? So he sends him a workout. The guy messages him back and he's like, man, that was a great workout. Do you mind if I hit you up and ask, just questions of how that kid could get better. And just seeing him open up and taking on that responsibility at such a young age, that to me, just not too many kids even know how to handle that, let alone willing to do that, and like he'll tell me, Dad, it's getting tough. Like I get a lot of DMs, people asking for advice, people asking me to do this, and I always tell him, I said, man, them are your fans, and I said, yes, there's going to be a point in time where you've hit up your famous your celebrities on Instagram and they never respond to you or whatever. I said, you've done it before, and for you to respond to these kids or whoever it is message you and you to actually reply back to them, that just made their day. You know what I mean? For especially somebody that's looking up to you, you don't know what that other person on the other side is going through, and for him just to be able to take the time to do that out of his day. And like I tell him, I say, you don't have to answer everybody, man, but just the ones that really touch you and convict you, comment to them. You know what I mean? Go on your Instagram, go on your YouTube, whatever it is, and just make somebody's day. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? You never know whose life you're going to touch and what that person may mean to you later on in life. You may run across some kid that you talk to that was like, man, I've followed you growing up, and one day he's at your fight and he gets to meet you. And then you're like, man, do you remember me? And you're like, no. When he tells you who he is, and he's going to be like, man, those are the things that I think the most with these kids, just being able to be a role model for other people that are your age. That's what I would say, I guess, why he should be the athlete of the year.
That was a great answer. Gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this interview. Cavante, I'm always going to be a fan. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for letting me be a part of the process as much as y'all have, man. But this is Cavante K. James, the head trainer, head boxing coach at young_.nation on Instagram, where he gives you all the tips. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the next great. This is Champ. You know what I'm saying? Get on while the getting's good. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all time, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Keep doing y'all thing. Much love.
One question real quick before we head out. When am I going to see you again?
It should be sometime this year, man. Sometime this year.
You going to be at the football games?
At Trinity, what school?
No, I'm homeschooled. I'm probably going to be Trinity. I might go Noonan maybe, and maybe EC too.
Yeah, you're definitely.
I'm probably going to go EC Noonan this year, though, for sure.
EC Noonan game?
Yeah,
I think that game I'm gonna be at Whitewater, Columbus. Carver, Columbus going to Whitewater, but I'm gonna be at Noonan now. I'm gonna be at Noonan, EC. You know what I'm saying? I should hit Trinity, and if you're gonna be at Northgate, so I'll see you, brother. I think I see you one day somewhere. Like, hey, what's up, brother? It was real quick, but yeah, I'll see you, brother, for sure.
All right, we're gonna see.
Yeah, well, you'll see him. Me and you've already talked about locking in and coming back out to do a new video for us. So we'll definitely make it happen where you'll definitely see him. And I won't even tell him. You just surprise him.
I'm honored to be in high demand from somebody. Nah, but I'll see you though, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you with a smile, you know what I'm saying, and a handshake, brother, for sure.
All right, we'll see. We're gonna see.
You sound like you don't believe.
I'm gonna try. You be on the field though. I don't be on the field, so
You be down low. Last time I seen you was down low. You be in the student section though, don't you?
I'll be in the student section. Yeah, you know where I be.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bacon, or hit me on my phone. You know, I'm always on my phone, but we're gonna chop it up, brother, for sure. That's
I got you. I'm gonna get your number from my pops. I'll hit you up.
All right, brother. Much love, y'all.
For sure.
All right. God bless you. Good
Be
night.
safe, man.
No problem. All right, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, man, legend. Not in the makeup, but in the flesh, digitally, and you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, man, definitely tap in. Like I said, the link is below. Vote on for Athlete of the Year, Cavante K. James. You can follow him on Instagram at young_dot_nation. So I thought my boy Najeh would have been in here, but so until then, we're gonna get into the basketball content. Right. I wish I could share my screen, but my brother he handles everything from behind the scenes. But in basketball news, Tobias Brinkley, Decatur High School, you know what I'm saying, he committed to school down in New Orleans. Give me 1 second, y'all. I think I got it in my notes actually. Committed to Tulane. That's big for somebody who missed a lot of time last year. I think with the lower extremity injury. I mean, you know, he's talented, but if you've seen Tobias play, you know what I'm saying, he's that guard or that wing that they missed last year at Decatur. You know what I'm saying, very long, you know what I'm saying, has great IQ for the game, change of pace, herky-jerky. You know, so he's got some post moves. So to see him already commit, that's big. That's big for him. And I think his recruiting will continue to blossom as school ball comes in. But I think that's very key. And I'll tell any kid this, if you've missed some significant amount of time, or if you don't have the offers that you want, but you have a school that you like on the table, go ahead and commit. Go ahead and commit, because you never know what can happen or transpire throughout your senior year, your recruitment process. So you know that you for sure have something in the bag. And if you get that dream school, then hey, definitely take that. But until then, you know what I'm saying, lock in while you can, for sure. So congratulations to Tobias Brinkley for committing to Tulane last week. Next up, I know it's what we've all been waiting for, Jalen Wingfield. If we got any Tech fans in here, you know what I'm saying, he dropped his top 8. Let me pull up his top 8. Now I'll read it out to y'all verbatim. Top 8 concludes Auburn, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Cincinnati, Ole Miss, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Kennesaw. So the new schools that's in the running, because he dropped the top 10. He give you all the back score. He dropped his top 10 in January. I think like mid or early January. That had Alabama and Mississippi State, I believe, were the only 2 teams that didn't make the top 8. But new teams in his top 8 is Kennesaw State, and I believe that's it. This Kennesaw State. So you know, Kennesaw is. It's an interesting school in terms of like, you know, this recruiting of Georgia athletes. So they got Braden Lou last year. Was it last year or year before last, from Alexander, standout power forward or wing, really a wing, but he's big. He's going to play the 4 for the Owls. But they locked him up. That's a program who's trending in the right direction. That could possibly be a Georgia, something similar to a Georgia State, in terms of being a consistent team that's in the tournament. Like they had a run a couple years ago, Chris Youngblood, Brandon Stroud, you know what I mean, a couple years ago. So if they can pull in a Jalen Wingfield, man, that'll be huge. So like I said, for my Tech fans that's in here, I'm gonna give the reason why he could possibly land at Tech. Tech's been on him since 2024. Close proximity, being at Tri-Cities, easy access. Says he feels comfortable. He feels comfortable with Coach Damon Stoudemire, the Tech program. As you see, that's another program that's trending back to prominence. That's always good to know. He feels comfortable there. He's been on a game day visit when they played Duke this year, and it's been on an unofficial. Took some photos there, so he's feeling the vibe, feeling the love. You know what I mean? Jalen is a guy, you know what I'm saying? Or just like any kid, you know what I'm saying? You got to build relationships with him. Just be 100, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what Coach Damon Stoudemire is doing. Another team to watch, as I said multiple times on this podcast, is Cincinnati. That's where his father went to school at. That's why that team made the top 8. You know what I'm saying? Every young man, no matter what the narrative is, wants to follow in their father's footsteps. But you know what I'm saying, if you got another deal to play wherever you want to play at, and if it's a better fit, then by all means, I think that's why that's cool. Made it as well. Another team, Auburn, you know, Bruce Pearl is a recruiting guru, probably walking a similar path to Coach Calipari. You know what I mean? Recruiting elite talent year after year after year. So that's a school to watch. And I'll say South Carolina as well. I just like what Lamont Paris is building. I've covered that program for some time now. They got Eli Ellis, Colin Murray Boyles, just got drafted, went to the NBA. You know what I mean? A program similar to Georgia Tech. I don't think that has the same luster as Georgia Tech, just with the history. South Carolina is more so known for women's basketball as of late. But I wouldn't count Lamont Paris out of this race. Again, that's why they made the top 10. That's why they made the top 8. So we're gonna move on, transition to Caden Allen, another local Georgia hoop star. You know what I mean? Started his career out at Grayson, got put on the national scene, playing for the Georgia Stars, was a leading scorer at Peach Jam. That's what got him on the scene. Probably. Let me pull up the class of 2026. I mean, I'm really willing to go out and say Caden Allen might be the best scorer in the 2026 class. Then not a lot of people really give a lot of credit to. Okay, so number one, obviously Tom Stokes, Brandon McCoy. People will say Jason Crow is a number one, is the best scorer, which I understand, but Caden Allen is a different breed, brother. You know what I'm saying? Stop on a dime, just very fluid. Gets to the Euro step. Once it gets to that mid range, got a floater. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was the leading scorer at Peach Jam, 15U. And people say, "Oh, it's not 17. Oh, it's not 16." But to come in that young and to score the ball, average 25 to score, I think he put up 35 points against. Let me. I done got myself started. Hold on, y'all. I got to make sure I got it right for the young man. All right, Caden Allen. Here we go. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it was a Green Light Media report. If you aren't following Green Light Media, man, what are you doing? Let's see, 36 points. Montverde, Wasatch, that was 77-47 win. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with the brother. If I don't see it here real quick, we'll transition. But I believe he had 35 against a powerhouse. I think it was during the school year or AAU season. But I say all that to say, man, Caden Allen is an elite scorer. If you haven't watched his highlights, you know what I'm saying, you definitely need to go watch him. Played for the elite Montverde team. So that tells you all you need to know right there. You know what I'm saying? And he's following coach to Florida as well to play for let me see where he's playing for. But he's transferring again. You know what I'm saying? He's following the head coach of Montverde. He's going to Florida. So I think it's Zephyr Hills. That's where he's going. But kid plays elite basketball, plays EYBL Scholastic. You know what I mean? That tells you all you need to know. But why? And let me tell y'all what's in his top 7. Let me do that before I give my reason why. It's a possibility he can go to Georgia Tech. All right, UCF, Georgia Tech, obviously, Ole Miss, California, Florida State. Florida State was also in Jalen Wingfield as well. Mississippi State, Cincinnati, another team. So that's very interesting. UCF, I think, is very interesting. Florida State, you got to watch. Those are 2 teams I think you need to watch for Caden Allen. Obviously, moving down to Zephyr Hills, Florida. Zephyr Hill Water, if you know what I'm saying, if you're a Florida person. So they're gonna have, those will be the 2 schools that are gonna be most hands-on proximity wise. Ole Miss is I just don't, you know what I mean? We'll see. It's SEC ball, but if you're gonna go SEC, he might go up the chain. But Cal, you know what I'm saying? Cal, I always like Cal Berkeley for Georgia guys. After seeing Jaylen Brown go there and have success, people want to follow in the footsteps of greatness. But my reason of why why Georgia Tech is a good fit, or why he may possibly go there. Again, it all comes back to Coach Damon Stoudemire building these relationships early with these kids. He's an excellent recruiter. His offense is very similar to what I think Coach Boyles is his name, ex Montverde head coach now down at Zephyr Hills. They run a lot of the same motion, a lot of screens. That's a very complex but simple offense, if you will. It's a lot of actions, a lot of guys running off screen. So as a guard who's coming downhill, it's very easy to be a combo guard, i.e. passing the ball, i.e. scoring, ball fakes, which plays into Caden Allen's game of being a crafty guard who can do it all, but definitely very much a scoring threat. So you put all that together, I think Georgia Tech will probably come down in that top three. I'm not going to say I don't know who could be in that top three, but I think you can book Georgia Tech being in that top three. Also, as I said earlier, Caden Allen was just upgraded to warm to Georgia Tech, but he was upgraded to be warm to a lot of schools as well. So I'll pull up that. And after I name all the warm schools, we will transition on because I don't want to hold y'all. But I do want to buy time for Najeh to get in here as well, though. But nonetheless, so he's been upgraded to warm to UCF, Georgia. Obviously, these are the top 7 schools. So he's warm at all 7 schools. And it has it slated here being recruited by Preston Williams, assistant coach for Georgia Tech. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you all you need to know for that. Gage, I was going to ask Naj about this, but Gage Mayfield, 4-star guard, 4-star wing, I believe. Yeah, 6'8" small forward out of Hale County. I think he lives in Tennessee. No, Moundville, Alabama. I might have to hit up down south, see what type of intel he has on that. Plays for Pro 1, Alabama team. I think out of Huntsville. But released his top 5, Tennessee, Michigan, OU, Oklahoma, Vandy, and Florida State. Man, I got to do some research on Florida State, man. Florida State is making a lot of these guys top 5, so I need to see what's going on. I believe they just fired their head coach of last year. I believe they have a new guy running the show. Vandy as well. That's a team that was on Wingfields. But I'm going to say Tennessee, maybe a leader here. Rick Barnes, you know what I'm saying? Mayfield. He's just a strong, athletic guard, plays with a lot of bounce. Wing plays with a lot of bounce, and you know what I'm saying, that's typically what you get out of a Tennessee wing. He's going to play defense, kind of like a Smith. Let me get his name right. 2026 guy, Jordan Smith, who hasn't committed anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. That's like a Tennessee type of mold build, though. I think he may end up going to Kentucky or Duke, maybe Louisville. But nonetheless, we're talking about Gage Mayfield. That's his top 5. Do I have any intel on that? But when Naj comes in, I definitely have him provide y'all more insight on that situation because he writes for the Volunteers as well. But moving on to WBB, women's basketball. We got some women's basketball on here for y'all. We're going to try to get more WBB on, but it's a lot of news going on these days, especially with the WNBA going on and women's basketball recruiting going on. But nonetheless, more Georgia Tech news, as well as Florida State, Missouri, and all that. But it's per Talia Goodman of Rivals now. She still got on 3 in her bio as well, so we'll say on 3. But 2026 recruit Natalia Hodge has narrowed her schools to a final 7, holding Florida State, Baylor, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Arizona State, and Mizzou. It's very interesting, you know what I mean? Our guy Ra, I believe he's interviewed her or has a solid relationship with her. But you know what I'm saying, what I've heard from him, you know what I'm saying, just a real down-to-earth type of girl, you know what I'm saying, real big in her faith. That's big. Just like she's always smiling. She got that star element to her, just a real good personality. But I bring this up because 2 coaches, Coach Abe out of Georgia and Coach Karen Blair out of Georgia Tech, they're in on this race. I know Coach Abe, I'm saying, she's a great recruiter. You look at her last class, Jocelyn Faison, a couple international girls. I think it's 2 Georgia programs on the rise. You know what Coach Karen Blair does, very big on relationships, real good personality. I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see where she goes. Again, this is another nice topic. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to him, sure to provide just a little more insight into this situation. But all right, so back into what's it all videos? Let's see. That's a video. Well, we'll talk about Braden Lou. Greenlight Media. Again, if you aren't following Greenlight Media, man, what are you doing? So Greenlight Media tapped into the scene at Kennesaw State with Coach Rob, legendary Coach Rob. If you don't know who that is, you're living under a rock. But 6'9" wing, averaged 10 points per game last year, 5.5 rebounds, was a CUSA all freshman. He's a star. You know what I mean? And from the videos I'm watching right now, you know what I'm saying, it seems to have improved his ball handling significantly. And if he can really threaten teams from the wing, you know what I'm saying, from the corners, off the dribble, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't average north of 12 points per game. He's just that type of scorer. Quick, you know what I mean? Can shoot the ball from outside, winning rhythm. I need to see him, his progression shooting the ball. When I watched him at Alexander, he can shoot that thing. Athletic, shot blocker, just an all-around wing, man. I really think I'm still on that line trying to figure out what's a NBA player. I mean, obviously, you know, when you see guys that are at Blue Bloods, you know what I'm saying, you know, but at the mid-majors, they're elite scorers, or I'm not gonna say elite scorers, but were project pieces. Like if they fix the ball hand, they fix consistent shooting. You know what I'm saying, I think he's a pro. I think he can play for sure NBA G League, but can he be an NBA guy out of college? Is something I gotta find more about. But nonetheless, Braden Lou, just keep an eye on him. I think he can be he can significantly improve for the Kennesaw State Owls for the upcoming season for a sophomore year. All right, so more news. For sure, we got some updates again from Greenlight Media. I think this whole college basketball segment is pulling from his information, but he made a stop to Georgia Tech. So again, some Inside Tech fans. If you're tuning in with me, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, or IG Live, shout out to all my people tuning in from Bacon Network on IG Live. Much love. If you're in the comments, I apologize because I've been locked in on the show, but you know what I'm saying, I will tap in a second. Let me see if anybody's commenting. I don't want to mess nothing up, so we'll keep it a buck. I'm gonna stay locked in. But nonetheless, he said 5th-year Kawasi Reeves is back healthy and looks sharp. 6'7" wing, averaged 9.7 points, shot 36% from the 3 at 38 games with the Yellow Jackets. If you know Kawasi Reeves, if you watch the Yellow Jackets, plays with a lot of energy. In this picture, his hair is back to black, but he's got a Dennis Rodman vibe. You know what I'm saying? Changing his hairstyle up, pink, green, yellow, blonde, but plays with a lot of energy. And I think in order for this team to, I think this team's going to be good anyway. But when you have a guy like this, I think he's going to be this year's Duncan Powell. This is a guy that's going to play defense, going to grab rebounds, knock down shots. That's my comp. Well, that's my throwing him in that role. But I think he's going to have a bigger role. I think he's going to have that second half of the season Duncan Powell role than early on. But nonetheless, having a healthy Kawasi Reeves amongst a lot of young talent is going to be big for the Yellow Jackets moving forward. And also was some news shared on, you know what I'm saying, an incoming freshman who a lot of people have been high about for the Jackets, the top 20 incoming freshman, Mohamed Silla. You know what I'm saying? I think he's from Senegal, if I'm not mistaken. Has played some pro ball already. When we talk about basketball athletes who come from overseas, i.e. Luka Doncic, Who's some more Euro guys? The guard that played for Illinois this past year possibly played. I think he played at Germany. The big man for Duke. Kaman Malawak played for this. For Team Sudan. I say all that to say Mohamed Saleh played in the BBA basketball, African Basketball League. You know what I'm saying? It has some success over there. And they're already, you know what I'm saying, per Greenlight Media, the coaching staff is already raving about him. They really like what he's got going on, as well as Bane Dungo. You know what I'm saying? Coming up for all ACC third team last season. We already know he's a double-double machine. That stat should continue to go steady. But nonetheless, those are two guys, especially Beta Dunga. We already know what he can do. But can you go from third to second team all ACC? If you can hover around that second ACC team, possibly he can get to that first team ACC team, especially where we think this team can go. I think Georgia Tech can be top 5, anywhere between top 5 on up in the ACC. I'm need to see. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Duke, UNC. Who's another team? Maybe NC State at 3. So this, like I said, I think top 4. Yeah, I think top 3 is pushing it, but I think top 5 for sure in the ACC. I just really like the good mix of youth, you know what I'm saying, and experience on this team. Like I said in previous shows, this is that year for Coach Damon Stoudemire to get this team over the hump. You've sown a lot of good seeds on the recruiting paths. Like we just talked about Caden Allen. We just talked about Jalen Wingfield, and so many others. Even some in-state guys. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting his name right now. Plays at Holy Innocents. But nonetheless, he sowed a lot of seed. This is the season to turn those wins into water, to water these recruiting plants so they sprout and grow into big, strong Yellow Jackets, for lack of better words. But that's my report. That's the reports from Greenlight Media inside the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets facilities. Right. So we're going to move on to some more news. Arkansas news from our Arkansas SEC basketball fans. Malik Ewing was at some open runs in Atlanta per Coach Ride, Mr. Rideout, Army veteran, head coach of Holy Trinity Catholic School, big in the Atlanta basketball scene, man. So shout out to him for putting this on. But pretty much Malik Ewing, he's been doing this thing. Has been a gym rat this offseason. That's big, for Coach Calipari, having a guy like this at his disposal. It's going to be interesting to see how he uses them. I see, I'm not going to say Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. I think that's big, despite what people say about Karl Anthony Towns, he's a skilled big, can really score. Obviously, he's the best shooting big in the NBA. But Malik Ewing, in these open runs, obviously he's going to put the ball on the floor a lot. But he's doing something different. And every year we see something more spectacular from these pro and college bigs. They're loosening the reins of the big man every year. In this clip, he's bringing the ball to the court, facilitating, doing step back threes off the dribble. Will he do that at Arkansas remains to be seen. But nonetheless, I think it'd be exciting. I think Coach Calipari is open-minded enough and experienced enough to know when he can let guys do their thing and be themselves and create. So definitely keep an eye and an ear out for Malik Ewing. You can follow him at MaliQueewin. That's also a former Berkmar High School Patriot, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but like I said, a Georgia guy for sure. Also another report, Jerry Dang of NC State transferred in this year. It's looking good. Looks to be in shape. Again, this is all per Greenlight Media. You can go on his page. Does a great job of covering not just guys in state, but out of state. And we had him on the show. The guy says, is a junkie of just watching content. He's got a great team. Doing the graphics. Getting out and seeing the people. going to events. So that's a great page to watch. On Twitter, it's Greenlight B-Ball, BBAALL, excuse me. So NC State guy, NC State transfer, Jerry Dang, was at the same runs with Coach Rod, 6'9" wing, known for his shooting, but this looks to be more in shape. You know what I mean? Compared to last year, can pass the ball as well. So those would be two guys to watch in the ACC and the SEC: Malik Ewan and Jerry Dang of NC. Oh, there you go, brother. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How long you been in here, dog?
Not that long. Probably about 40 seconds.
All right, bet, man. All right, brother. So, we're gonna keep the thing rolling because we're approaching 110 on the showtime. I'm gonna go back for the people and get your thoughts on Gage Mayfield. I saw you wrote an article on him not too long ago, so I'm gonna share my screen. Obviously, he's got Tennessee in his top 5. So, what information can you share about the young wing from Alabama?
Yeah, man, he's kind of exploded onto the scene. You look at obviously recruitment a little bit, and obviously this top 5 that you can see here. I'm seeing obviously Oklahoma's in there. Michigan, Herb Bacon was obviously talking about the top 5. Also in there, he has Vanderbilt, which is interesting. Obviously as a program is trying to figure some things out in terms of their hoops program. We talked about Michigan and then Florida State. Like Florida State's been in a lot of people's recruitment, so obviously that's huge. That's big for them in their program, what they're trying to do. But what's interesting is he's already taken the official visit to Tennessee. So I think him already visiting this early, I think that says a lot. And that was way back early in the spring. I think the biggest question for him is, will he get back to campus for a game this year, right? When they play one of those big teams, this upcoming season, the preseason game is against Duke. So, like, how does that look? Obviously got Nate Mint. He's going to have a big role for them. But I think it's interesting. Tennessee's been in the race for a lot of people. But he's exploded from like 160, 150 to like number 79 overall, like number 56 on SportsCenter Next or ESPN's ranking. So I think they've kind of fell in love that he's a versatile wing. He defends at a high level. He can obviously protect the rim and rotate over, be a really good weak side defender. He could put the ball on the floor and, if you ain't careful, he'll slam the ball on you. Like you'll be on the highlight reel or a poster. And underrated part of his game, I think, is the low post. Like, you ever see those guys similar to Ace? Like he can just get one dribble, shoot it, or get into that spot, that little window, and hit difficult shots. He can do that too. So I think the sky's the limit for him, and he's continuing to get better and better. And Tennessee, I would say they're at the forefront to me from what I've seen. Him obviously taking an OV there early. I think they are in good position to land him.
Yeah, I talk to the people, man. I think he's a prototypical Tennessee wing, man. Somebody who's strong, athletic, could play defense. He's a prototypical Coach Barnes type of guy. But what you said about his post game, I did not know. But we talked to Raheem on multiple occasions. Plays for Pro One. I think that's a
UAA team. He played with Kingston Whitty.
Play with Kingston Whitty.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see their film together? Like how did they coexist on the court?
They didn't really have film together, but I know I had seen like kind of like him doing his thing, and then Whitty was like on the outside. You see like little snippets. It wasn't really like a full. Unfortunately, I did try to look that up, but just obviously him doing his thing, Whitty doing his thing. Obviously separate, but I don't know. I would love to know how they coexisted together. But I think major support. If you're going to gauge Mayfield's Twitter handle or X page, I guess you could say, he's retweeting the hell out of Kingston Whitty. So obviously they had to have a good rapport, and a good relationship, in my opinion. But yeah, like you can go up and down it, and you'll see like his offers, but then you'll see like consistently him, like that's Kingston Whitty right there. Like he's constantly retweeting him. And I think it was just, Whitty's gotten bigger, faster, and stronger, and they just feed off each other really well, if I had to say, in my humble opinion. And then, he popped off in session 1 for UAA, Gage did, and that's kind of when he started to kind of make his name, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, he's just taking advantage of his opportunities and continuing to ball in the circuit.
Yeah, man. Like I said, real athletic wing, man. So, like, last question, but we'll move on. Like, because I know you watch a lot of basketball film as well as football, but like, who does he remind you of? What is this game kind of triggered for you?
It's tough to say, man. I think he's his own unique person. I know we usually do comparisons and will say, hey, this guy plays like him or a baby KD or something. I don't really see that. I see a player with his own unique style. He could put the ball on the floor, finish around the basket. I don't think he really mimics anybody or mirrors anybody. I think he's kind of his own player, in my humble opinion.
Absolutely, brother. So I got another one for you. I'm gonna try to stay on this this link or this tab, so you don't have to keep setting the page or whatever the screen sharings for me. But another story you've been on the post on is Natalia Hodge. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was interesting that Georgia is in it as well. I like what Coach Abe is doing in Athens, but specifically for you, brother, you know what I'm saying, Coach Karen Blair, man, to make her Final Seven. What do you see about this recruitment?
Yeah, I think you have to give credit to Coach Blair, and obviously you mentioned the coach earlier, the male coach. I think they're doing a phenomenal job recruiting, and I think she's living off to that moniker, especially Coach Blair, just like being able to recruit high end talent. Like this is a player that was on the cusp of winning, Miss Tennessee, right? This player has already has 2,000 points, in her career, led her teams to the semifinals, right? And she's getting boxing ones. You know what I'm saying? Zones, different things thrown at her, and she's continued to thrive. And from a traditional standpoint, no, she's not a traditional point guard where she's assisting 8, 9 times, but she's always getting to the right play, right? Always getting to the right man, taking the right shot. And it is her ability off the bounce and dribble to create her own shot. I think is superb. And that's what makes her potent because she can create her own shot, and then she can finish with either hand. She can stretch the defense with a 3-point shot, and then she has a nice mid-range game too. So, to be in this conversation, it says a lot. And you go back and you look at the snippets with her and Talia Goodman. She obviously says in there just Coach Blair, in that relationship, and she obviously talks about just the development, like obviously being a cornerstone piece for her. So, I mean, why not go get one of the best point guards or one of the best players that could be your point guard for the future? And I think Coach Blair, like she's right in the thick of the race. Now it'll just come down to she has I don't think she said officially an official visit, but I know she plans to get obviously to the flats, or she said it, but there's no date yet, but she's definitely planning to visit. But I mean, the highlights tell you all, man. The girl can play, like that's the left hand finishing through a little crossover dribble right there, finishing with the left again, a little jelly on the shot, right here, a little bit of defensive pressure. Don't matter, ball in the left pocket. Look at that easy money throw right there in the inside, easy layup. You know what I'm saying, making it look easy here on transition. Let's see, boom, finishing with the right hand through traffic contact. Should have been an N1. You know what I'm saying? She can finish with either hand. That's what makes her potent. So we have that. And then look, you see the step back dribble, right? You see that on the next level. Boom, look at that. Hezzy cross through the contact. Should have been another N1. Like, she's a complete package at the point guard spot. That's what you want. And you want somebody to do that and run your offense.
Great work, great breakdown. And, you know what I'm saying? Great reporting by you, brother, as always.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think I mean, that was my first time watching her highlights. Can easily see, you know what I'm saying, I can see the facilitating role. I think, you know what I'm saying, I think she may be a scorer first type of guard.
Yes,
that's
she
just not the first. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, I think she's more than capable of running an ACC type of offense. And I'm saying, I know Coach Blair is only maybe like 3 or 4 months into the job, but I'm just blown away.
She's already done an outstanding recruiting job. I mean, you just said it, 3, 4 months, and not to cut you off, but I mean, it's phenomenal. And I know you talking earlier. I heard you with Jocelyn Faison. She didn't even recruit her. You know what I'm saying? She just got in. She is a great coach because she could have been like, nah, you got to go to another school. It's my regime now. That was last year's, or that was Coach Fortner's. You know what I'm saying? Who she recruited. She could have easily like, nah, we're not gonna separate you no more. But she still did. That speaks to the character too of Coach Blair. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have been like, nah, we could go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't. And to be in the, like, you go and look at the recruiting, Mimi Thiero, you look at Hodge. These are top prospects. To be in these conversations and the tops of the top, that says a lot. And that short amount of time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you're talking about Michaela Taylor from Langston Hughes. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? To lock her down, but you know what I'm saying? Because she had multiple offers on the table. She could have went anywhere, but again, I'm still blown away by Coach Blair. But it makes sense. It's big on relationships.
Exactly.
All right. So I do, before we move on to the final topic, which is the NBA, I do want to. I'm sure you've seen Greenlight Media post about it, but he's how Kawhi Reeves is healthy. You know what I'm saying? I know you cover the Yellow
That's
Jackets
huge.
as closely as I do. You know what I'm saying? Just when he's healthy with this team, that's going to be a mix of young talent and experienced veterans. Just what do you think his role is, and what do you think the potential of this team is with a healthy Kawhi Reeves?
I think he should still be a starter if he plays. At worst case, he's a six man, but he should still be starting to me. We'll see how far he comes. Obviously, ramping back up. But let's just say worst case, he's a six man, right? He gives you energy off the bench. He gives you a guy that could be a 35, 36% shooter from three. He gives you an athletic wing that can drive to the basket and get easy buckets. If you go and look at Georgia Tech's team last year, they struggled in spurts. They couldn't get a basket. They would be up in the game up 10. The team would close the deficit because they go 5, 6 minutes without scoring, right? So you need a person that can slow it down. Sometimes when, it's young players, they'll throw up a bad shot, right? You not get into a good look. You throw it to Reeves. Reeves gonna know what to do, right? Even if he's not even scoring, if he's setting the platter, if he's setting the table, he's gonna be able to get you in a better shot. Whether that's just to see the ball to go in the basket, right? Layup, floater, mid range, whatever it is, he's gonna set that up for you. And then he's underrated defensively, right? Georgia Tech has struggled defensively. Now I think they're one of their best players defensively. Maybe another will emerge. Is Jaden Mustaf. After Mustaf, you'll go Dongo because he can obviously protect the rim. But best perimeter, I think you're going to see him emerge this year. And everybody's like, oh, where did this kid come from? How he get so good defensively? You've seen spurts of that last year with Mustafa, him coming on towards the end of the season, guarding the best player late in the games. So you need somebody like that. And then Reeves could be your guy that guards the second best perimeter player and help out. We'll see how it looks with injury-wise afterwards. But he, at least, a worst case, like I say, give you a six man. Best case, he gives you a starter.
Absolutely. I think this year is Duncan Powell.
But the only thing is he's been with the program for so long.
Yeah. True. Also reports from Greenlight Media, the coaching staff's already high on Mo Silla. You know what I'm saying? I talked about him playing overseas a lot more. Also, very pleased with Bane Dongo, who you just talked about. So, and I think, you know what I'm saying, this could be that year he gets to all ACC second team. And if you get the second team, like I told the viewers, maybe you can push for that all ACC first team. So, do you think Bane Dongo could get to a first team all ACC? And how do you think Mo Silla will affect this offense and defense for the Yellow Jackets?
I think Dongo's been there. I think he's been worst case second team, but I'm pretty sure last year he came in, he was like the top ranked sophomore in college basketball, like one of the top ranked ones. So I think he's in that combo. It's just dominating again. He averages a double. It's just, I think with him it's just like the talent's there. He's an NBA prospect, but it's like dominating games. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 and 15, 25 and 15. When Tech struggled last year, Bacon, he wasn't touching the ball. Now, I don't know if I don't want to put that on Coach Stoudemire, but it's like you got to demand the basketball at some point. And what's crazy is he's improved his game. He's improved his mid-range. He's improved his three-point shot. So for him, I think it's just like, okay, if I ain't touch the ball in 3-4 minutes, what are we doing? I'm the best player. I got to touch the basketball. So for him this year, I want to see him demand you're a junior now. Demand the basketball. You know what I'm saying? Don't got to be every possession, but if you see, hey, man, we ain't scored in 2-3 minutes. Man, give me the rock, man. Let's stop playing, man. Put this boy in the post. We're going to go get a bucket. That's what I want to see from Dongo. I think you see that more often. You'll see him make a first team All-ACC. He's more than capable. When we talk about Silla, got a chance to see him obviously on the scooter rolling through campus when I was at
Today?
That was cool. Yes, that was pretty cool to see that. I was like, yo, is that my Silla? I was like, yeah, I think so. Yeah. But for him, he can fulfill that Ibrahim Soare role, right? Some game, and people might be like, well, Naj, what are you talking about? Some games he started last year, or he filled in and rotated in. Now they got Peyton Marshall, obviously will be another big for them. But Salah gives you a athletic two-way guy, rim protector, lob threat, different things like that. And he's probably a little bit more agile than Peyton Marshall is. Marshall's good, but he gives you a little bit more agile. So we'll see his offensive game. I can't speak because I haven't seen him play offensively just yet.
Right.
That's going to be an interesting part to see. But worst case, he gives you a two-way big man that can dominate in the paint.
Is that how you say it, Salah?
Yeah, Mohamed Salah.
Okay, good.
No, I won't say it, but I say Salah. I'm Salah.
Understandable, brother. Let's see. I do want to get you to look at Braden Lou. So
Come on, man. That's a beast, man.
You seen his new film?
Yeah, I've seen this film. Come on, man. That's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Bacon, I'm not surprised, bro. He went with Alexander. He was dominating there. He won the state championship. The only year they didn't win, remember, they lost to Riverwood, right?
Yeah.
But they had the two-headed monster in the backcourt. Karis Bilal, and they had J.R. Leonard, who's now at Stetson, right? So, and still they had a chance to win that game. So no surprise to see him kind of be at this level, Bacon. He's dominant, man. He can do a little bit of everything. And Kennesaw State, I heard you say it earlier with Conference USA, they really can become similar to a Georgia State. Now, Georgia State's been in the tournament a couple of times. They haven't dominated, I'm saying, to your earlier point. But Kennesaw State can kind of be that flagship, like, hey, if I don't get an offer from Georgia or Tech or, even Southern, I can go to this school and potentially still ball. And like you said, a few years ago, they went, did their thing. RIP, obviously, their former coach who went to USF. But I think Kennesaw State's quietly becoming kind of that destination you can go to and you can thrive. Does that mean NBA prospect yet? Maybe not. But you could be on the scene and develop and have a nice career, which, like you said earlier, maybe go to become a G League prospect. So I think he is prime. And to you, obviously, your point here in the notes, I think he is prime for a breakoff sophomore year. All it was, is to your point, what you're saying earlier, was just being able to put the ball on the floor more, being able to create, right? Being able to harness in on his ball handle. You know what I'm saying? With him being able to do that, I mean, he's practically unstoppable. He's a forward that can dribble, handle, finish around the rim, and defend.
You were listening to me while you was in the gym working out, huh? Yeah,
for sure. I told you, bro. I'm always locked in, bro. Definitely, bro.
Nah, for sure. But hey, sometimes I do the same thing too. When I'm late, I'm in the gym. But yeah, hey, sometimes, especially if it's a leg day, I gotta get gangster in the headphone, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta throw on some big meal or something. Something's gonna give me.
Nah, definitely. No, you do. You do have to do something more. Sometimes I feel like today it wasn't like that though. I didn't really need that today. But no, there is some days you do gotta get it.
You did arms today?
Yeah, you guessed right. Yeah, arms and shoulders. So, well, I mean, it was cool. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, it was a shirt. Shirt gave you away.
But I always wear a tank top though.
That's true.
For summer, and when it's winter, I'm wearing hoodies with the hood on.
Hoodies with the hood. You a hood on guy in the gym?
I'm a hood on guy in the gym. I don't be off. No, hood on.
Okay. Well, learn something new every week about Mr. Wilkins, but I like that, brother. I also want to ask you about Malik Ewan. You played at Berkmar, playing at Arkansas this year, man. Look in the highlights. I know it's open runs. I'm sure you're looking at or have seen it. If not, I can share my screen. But put the ball on the floor a lot, took the ball up the court, was facilitating. I'm not sure if you're going to have that same type of role with Arkansas. I'm saying they got Darius Acuff, play for the City Reapers this year from Pittsburgh, but got a lot of guards on that team. Not sure if he'll be able to facilitate, but I think it will be interesting if Coach Calipari will let him do that. But just what did you think about just the open run film and how it can contribute to Arkansas this year?
I thought it was pretty solid. I mean, you've seen a little bit of different things in his bag, right? Seeing kind of him pick and pop, him being able to punish defenders in the interior, right? You're seeing his passing prowess really the most on display.
Yes.
But like you said, I don't know how much, obviously, Coach Calipari is going to allow him to do that. But if he does, think about this. What if they're giving all that attention to Acuff or, they come in the post extend too, right? He's going to know how to make the right play out of that. You know what I'm saying? And set up the right man. So, like, that could potentially help open up your offense if they're giving too much attention to Acuff. Let's say Acuff's double. He throws it down to him. He going to be able to see, oh, okay, I got this guy in the corner. Boom, boom. Throw that pass. He open for the three. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's only going to help Calipari and what he want to do. We know Arkansas had, a really good finish to the year last year. Got better and better as the season went on. So I think having that big man as being his last year, he want to be the best he can be. I think you've seen little glimpses of it in that open run of how good he can be and what he can contribute. You know what I'm saying? I think the question for me is defensively. I think offensively he has a pretty nice bag for the most part. So just defensively, being able to slow down some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? When you go up against the Kentuckys, the Auburns, the Alabamas, you know what I'm saying, and being able to slow them down from scoring a little bit. But offensively, really good back.
Nah, that was a great point by you. How is he going to contribute defensively? Because he is a offensive minded big man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure. I know Coach Calipari. You know, what I'm saying, he's very big on defense. So that'll be interesting. But before we get into the NBA news about Jonathan Kuminga, obviously turned down the Warriors. Not even a counter offer, but extension. I think this is interesting. What Candace Parker said about the WNBA All-Star. She said, y'all cannot come out there and watch those. Y'all cannot come out there with those shirts, pay us what you owe us, and then do that in the All-Star game. Obviously, just like the NBA All-Star game, players go out there and have fun. They kind of have lax, lax the defense, maybe not turn on to the third or fourth quarter. In response, Aaliyah Boston, former national champion with the Gamecocks, now with the Indiana Fever. She said, an all-star game, when we have an all-star game, when we have another game in 2 days, I think it's okay to go out there and hoop and just have fun. I know, you know what I'm saying, you're fed up with the NBA all-star game. So just how do you feel about this dialogue between two players?
I really get both perspectives. To be honest, I get where Candace is coming from. It's like, yo, you can't put that product out there and y'all talking about paying some more money when y'all acting like y'all don't care or y'all not giving optimal effort. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people are tuned in to watch this and this is the product they get, like probably not going to watch. Then I get it from the player's perspective. Like, yo, we got a game in 2 days. I'm not going all out, potentially get injured. There's been a lot of injuries this season. If you've been following the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, you know what I'm saying? Brianna Stewart has an injury, you know what I'm saying, that I think she's going to be out for a long time. Cameron Brink just came back from her torn. I think it was ACL or her injury. There's a lot of injuries going on. So I get Aaliyah Boston's point too. Like, yo, we're not going to go all out. I'm trying to get to my money, my bag, be there for my team, help my team out. I get it. I'm not doing all that for All-Star game. So I get both perspectives. It's just tough, like it's tough to pay WNBA players, and I know how they feel and what they think. But it's like, how can you pay what you owe if y'all not generating no profit, no money? Not to get off topic, but say what you want about NBA, they generate a profit, right? So definitely should be paid more. 70K ain't gonna cut it. They should be making easily like 6 figures. But it's like at the same time, y'all got to be able to create a product, to Candace's point, where people going to want to tune in consistently and they're going to want to obviously see y'all play. And I think what the WNBA has to do is, in the Players Association, WNBA PA, they got to buy into Caitlin Clark being the face, bro. I hate to say it. It ain't all Caitlin Clark. Like, there's a couple faces. So if I had to say faces of the WNBA, right, I'm gonna throw in Brianna Stewart. I'm gonna throw in Angel Reese. I'm gonna throw in Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna throw in Asia Wilson, and probably even I would say Aaliyah Boston's good, but I wouldn't say she's a face. But let's say those 4,
Kelsey
right?
Plum.
Kelsey Plum. There you go. That's the 5. They need to have a woman-to-woman meeting and just hash it out. Like, yo, how can we really better our league? Like, put the egos to the side. Put that whatever it is that the media is jumping up, Reese or Clark, and come to a common solution for the betterment of the league. Not just the All-Star game, right? How to bring in more revenue, how to make it a better game people want to tune into, how to create this craze like how we did back when we was in college, creating that same craze in the WNBA. And again, I'm not trying to be on my tangent. I ain't trying to go all the way off, but I'm just saying the faces need to come up with a solution to help them, because if they come up with a solution, Bacon, and it's all in unity, it's all one person, not one person, but they're all in conjunction together, then you can start seeing them turn a profit. Then you can start seeing them getting paid what they owe. Then you can start seeing a better product on the court. I think that's where it starts. Not saying the product's terrible now, but if y'all want to get what y'all want and to be paid to this point, I think that's what they need to do.
What do you think was the? What do you think slowed down the Sting? Because I feel like they had a lot of momentum coming into the season. I think the 3v3 league was good, but it's like when we start seeing the cat fight, you know what I'm saying? For like a better word, is when it kind of, to me, it came to a halt. Maybe.
I agree. I say kind of the again. You're really just exacerbating my point.
Yeah.
You're not one connected unit, right? We're all more powerful when we're all like this and we're connected, right? Think about your fists.
Coach K method. I like that.
Yeah, you got 5 fingers on your hand. When they come together, it's one fist, right? That's what they need, and that's how you take that next jump and that next level as a league. They don't have that. So to your point, that's why they're struggling. And then 2 of their best players have been injured. You can't have Breanna Stewart injured. You know what I'm saying? Paige Booker's, who's the rookie phenom, she's been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, that makes a difference because, she was just hooping in the national championship game. Like, we trying to follow her, and then she's hurt. So that's been playing a factor too. Now, mind you, they're growing, right? They got 2 new teams coming to the fray here pretty soon. So they're expanding. Now it's just getting the money to all funnel in. So they're on the up and up. But like I said, they really want to take that next jump. Instead of like this. Remember I said that.
We'll definitely. I'm sure we'll see. We'll see if somebody clip it up, but I definitely remember that, brother. You got Juju Watkins coming in, so that'll be.
You know what I'm saying? That's another one.
That's another one.
So it's not like you're devoid of talent. The talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, are y'all all going to be connected in order to help the betterment of all of us, not just one of us?
And get the bag.
That's it. Yeah, get the bag. Exactly.
I agree, brother. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all doing that. We're gonna go to the last topic, and we're gonna talk about, which is one of the biggest headlines or whatever you want to say in the NBA or sports, period. Kuminga has declined the Warriors' offer of, I think, 2 years, $45 million. And that's tough for the Warriors. So they really need some youth. They need something. So
again, it's over with. I don't know why we keep talking. It's over. The Warriors blew their chance multiple times with Kuminga. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to play him. We've been having the same conversation every single offseason. Bro, want to move on. Let him move on. If they wanted him to be a part of their core, they would have played him. Coach Kerr never plays Kuminga, bro. Always says, "Oh, he's not ready yet. Oh, he's out of the rotation. Oh, he's young. He's out." He never plays him, right? So if you're the Warriors, you've done this to yourself, bro. That's just the truth. You've done this to yourself. There's no resolute. Oh, we're gonna play you this year. Like, I would have been ahead enough too. I'm what? How old is Kuminga? 25.
Say it again.
How old is Kuminga? 25.
Yeah, 25, 27, somewhere in that range, I would say.
Oh, he's still young. He's only 22. Oh my god.
Oh, he out of there.
Yeah, he gone, bro. Like, why would I stay? I'm 22. I've been dealing with this since I came into the league at what, 18, 19? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Steph finna retire soon. Like, Draymond coming on the end of his career. I mean, look, bro, they coming on the end of their career, bro. We gotta keep it a whole beam, bro. They ain't got what, 3-4 years, maybe. Look at his contract. Check his contract. 3-4 years. He about done. So you gotta turn it over soon, right? You didn't want to turn it over to Jordan Poole. I get it. Immature. Made the right choice. I understand. You had to move on from Wiggins. I understand. You got Kuminga, Moody. Like, when are you going to not necessarily give away the reins because it's still Steph's team, but when are you going to allow them to help Steph?
Yeah. So are you? Because I'll say is Steve Kerr has dropped the ball at developing talent. Like you say, you named Kuminga, you named Jordan Poole really shot himself in the foot, but I always go back to James Wiseman.
Yeah, that's another
thing in the league. But as somebody in that system, I'm gonna exacerbate all, you know what I'm saying, resources, assets to try to figure this out, because he's that stretch five that carries the Warriors, I think, to a second finals appearance, maybe a third one, you know what I'm saying, before and after that Boston championship.
What's been their biggest problem, as you just mentioned? It's been
size. Size and depth.
There you go. Boom. That's been your biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I agree. He hasn't really developed the talent. whether that's him or he's just being the head coach, whether that is the assistant coach is developing talent. 100% agree. You look at OKC, talent's developed, right? The Rockets, their talent is developing. You know what I'm saying? Those are the teams you look at. Okay, it's developing, right? Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, global superstar. Jaden McDaniels, solid player, solid starter. You know what I'm saying? Two-way player. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got to look back. We could have had Anthony Edwards. We could have had LaMelo.
Could have had LaMelo.
So it's like, and these are the players you turn a team over to and build the next era when Steph is gone. Now what do you have? The guys you got and drafted, they're gone for the most part. Another one wants to leave now.
Yeah, man, they're gonna have to really look themselves in the mirror. I mean, I still respect the hell out of Coach Kerr for many reasons, not even just him being a coach, but obviously playing with Jordan. Everybody knows that storyline, but it just made that team work. Though people will say that was Mark Jackson's team, Steve Kerr did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And put his fingerprints all on that team. Look at Mike Brown, brought him in. So yeah, I mean, I respect Steve Kerr. I'm sure you'll say the same thing. But if you don't have anything else to add to that, is there any other topics that you want to bring up before we send the people on their merry way?
No, not really. I said keep it tuned, man. It's gonna be a busy couple of months coming up, not just for football, man, but basketball. You're right in the thick of it, man. You're gonna see a lot of OVs and visits as school kind of kicks off in August, September. So you're gonna see a lot of players knocking down to their top 3s, top 5s, top 7s, whatever that may be. So keep it tuned, man. You're gonna see a lot of commitments going on now. Follow Joe Tipton, follow Greenlight Media. They all do a fantastic job. College Basketball Report, CBB. Obviously, Jeff Goodman, the field of 68. Hoop season gonna be here before you know it. Excuse me. So I say go ahead and get tuned in. They're doing preseason specials and all that good stuff. Go ahead and get tuned in, man. So yeah, that's all we really got to say. I think you did really good with the topics for the most part. I give you a solid 9.5, brother. Some good topics.
Hey.
Good news. You're doing your thing. You hosted today by yourself, which I'm trying to get you more to do. And I know I'm getting busier and busier. So I think you did a hell of a job.
Hey, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. Definitely, ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely follow the guys, man. You can follow Najeh on Twitter. That's NAJWILK, right?
NAJEH.
NAJEHWILK. Wilt Silk. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on Twitter as well. That is Arvon, ARV as in Victor, O as in Oscar, N as in Nancy. And Bacon like the country may or may not eat in the morning. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's my last name is Bacon, and this is Just Sizzling News Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We're sizzling at all time of the day, Monday through Friday through Sunday, from 12 o'clock in the morning to 12 p.m. in the afternoon. We appreciate y'all tuning in. You can see us Monday at 6:30 or 7. But nonetheless, we will be here, man. We look forward to seeing y'all Monday. And don't forget, you know what I'm saying, when the season starts on Saturday, be looking out for those college game day shows. But until then, much love.
Oh, college game day shows.
That's what we're calling it, right?
Nah, college football recap show.
College football recap show.
Yes, sir. every Saturday night. Like I said, me and Bacon gonna be super busy, man, as we conclude the show. Look, Mondays, like you said, 6:30, 6:45 for the most part. Thursdays at 8. You know what I'm saying? We might have sometimes a surprise guest on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, depending on if Bacon got some, I got some, we'll see. And then obviously Saturdays, probably, like I said, around 10:30. We'll do an hour special, depending on how the day goes, maybe hour and a half most. And we're going to do a recap of all the college football, man. We're going to talk about the biggest matchups, the games, our thoughts. Y'all tune in, man. Y'all know what to do.
Subscribe, like, share with your friends, family, and cousins. But till next time, we'll appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time on the Just Sizzling News Podcast. Peace and love.